Alright, this is the teach segment for Santa Claus is Coming to Town. I don't have a lot of fancy equipment. I'm using a little SJ cam, and so it's just going to be kind of a walkthrough. Put your fingers here. I'll show you how to play it. And when you're learning a piece like this, if you want just a little bit of my advice, I once spent a year learning a classical piece, my first classical piece. As a matter of fact, Nikita Koskin, Russian piece called Guitar. Very long, lots of parts to it. And if you'll learn one section, just as much as you can actually learn and remember at a time, then learn a second section, the one that goes after it. Then you play the first section and add the second section to it. And when you get to where you can play the two sections together without making a mistake, then you go to the next section and you add that section. The beauty of that is that every time you add a section, you play the whole song from start to finish to get to that section. And that causes the first sections to become firmly ingrained. Sometimes after years of not playing a piece, I can still remember the first few sections, even if I can't remember them after that. That's because the first ones become so ingrained. So here we go. Basically, here's what we have. Let's make sure I am indeed recording here. I think I am. Okay. Starts off with an open G string. You can play with any fingering you want, but I'll show you what I use. I pull, especially on a small neck like this. I used to play this on a Gibson, has a wider neck. But anyway, open G string. Pull off 3rd fret on the B string, which is a D, to the C. Then play the G and the open B together. And go back down. Now we're going to play an A7 shape, but we're going to play it, A minor 7, at the 4th fret. That's simply 4, open, 3, open. Okay, and you can actually strum the A open with it. Alright, it's very pretty chord. It's hit kind of fast though, so depending on how fast you play the piece. Okay? So you have, then the second finger drops back on the same string, G string still open, 3rd finger goes to the D at the 3rd fret, and another hit. Okay? Now we're going to actually drop down back to the A7 and give it a strum. Then it's F sharp, G, and a strum. So that's your melody. Okay? Now there's a 7 chord here, so 7 chord sus. That's actually B flat. And I play it by playing the bass note first, the 1st fret, and then with these 2 fingers I get, okay? And then you repeat. Now this time, the melody is, okay, let's see. Okay, so it's, that is 1st fret, D string, open G, 2nd, same fret on the B string. Alright, and actually I just plucked those 2. Oh, now we have a really cool double section for Santa Claus is Coming to Town. And it's played like this. This finger is already here. This makes a shell voicing for a F. Alright? it slides up a half fret, but you don't need this note after that. So basically it's then the B string and the G string, then F sharp and the D, then back to the G string and the open G. So now you have open E, open G. Let's make sure that's right. Okay, then open B string, second fret on the G string, and then that is the basic. Now we have a little chromatic run here, which is really cool. Howard Morgan arranged this thing in 1988. We have C, C sharp to D. First finger plays the D string at the 4th fret, and the G string is once again played open. Now we play that same shell voicing for the F, and it's played to keep it swinging, just like the other bass note, and then I pluck that. The next thing that's going to happen is we're just going to do the same thing and just so it's this one open, D string open, and then 1st fret on the G. Now this is a little fun. So open E to F sharp. Now we're going to play the bottom 2/3 of a D9. And I generally just rake down with my nail. First finger comes back. Now fingering here is important if you're going to play this fast. So first finger pulls off the F sharp to open E. Second finger goes to the 3rd fret, playing the D, and that leaves these 2 fingers to clamp down on the rest of this diminished chord. And it is 3rd fret, 4th fret, 3rd fret. Pretty cool. So what we just did was once again I just play those 3 strings with a downward motion of my, like that. Okay? Now you repeat the beginning from now we're going to repeat this one, but we pick it now, so it's then we drop back to the B, and then open D, and then F sharp, G, G sharp, open A. You let that ring because that's part of an F chord, which is coming next, and we're going to play just the bottom 3 strings. That's G string 3rd fret, and then partial bar on at the 1st fret. So that one's ringing once again. Now you're going to put a G in the bass with either your, I use my 3rd finger because of what's coming. So it's, And when that one hits, I actually pick that up. I actually silence that. Okay? So watch the finger. Here's what we did. We use that same shell voicing of the F, we just move it up to F sharp. And it's just, and it's up a half step. This chord is actually just the 4th fret on the A string. This one is muted, and then you actually play the G and the B the first time. Okay? Alright. So, now, first finger plays open E and the D, then open B string, 1st fret. When you play the 2nd fret, you play the open E again with your 2nd finger. 5th fret, G, 6th fret. Okay? Now we're going to play this voicing just from the bottom 4 strings. That's down and up. Then this is 3, 5, 5, 5. Then lift that up. You're basically playing a G minor 7. Okay, then the same voicing that was used here is a half step up, and it is slid up, well, moved up a half step. Okay, so and give me a second to figure out where I'm at. Oh, that's right. So after that, you play the same note with the 3rd finger on the A string at the 4th fret, muting this one, but now you play all of them. That's all the way down to the little E. Okay? Lots of strange harmony in this piece. After that, you lift up, you play open G, 3rd fret, then using these 2 fingers together, you play this part of the A. Then I usually play this with my little fingers, just easier to do than this, but it just depends on my mood. Now the cool thing here is the same pattern that was played here is played at the 5th fret. So you have exactly the same fingering as this one. It's just played here. Now we're going to play a D major 7, bar the 2nd fret, the G, B, and D, and E string, leave the D string open. And then you switch to a D7 chord. So it's one more time. Notice how I play it staccato. I kill it with this hand. Alright, so you add 5th fret. Then this voicing from just here down, 2, 3, 3, 3. Now a B7 chord, which is 2, 4, 2, 4, 2. And then you lift everything off of this, move your pinky to the 5th fret, and you play the B string, the G string, and the low E all together. Then you move to the 3rd fret, and let me see, do I play that one note or do I play it 2? So let me see, how do I play that? Both together. The E is still ringing at this point because you're actually kind of playing like a G6 something, God knows what. Okay, so then these 3rd finger, pinky come down at the 4th fret on the 2 strings above it. You play those 2, and then once again you play that little piece of a diminished chord. You have. Now you return to the beginning, but you start the way you did at the beginning by pulling off the D to the C. At this point, we're going to play that same 3-note passage there. We're just not going to play these 2. It slides up though, so you go C, up to D, then G string at the same fret on the 5th fret, and then E string at the same fret. I'll let it ring for a second so they know, hey, this is it. Then we have bottom 3 strings only. Open G, 1st fret, G. So it's 2nd finger comes down at the 2nd fret on the G string. Now we play a D7, up a half step, giving you a nice little half step twang to go to the G, which is the same shell voicing as that. The last and final chord is 3rd fret, 2nd fret, 3rd fret, 3rd fret. It's played together. And as that one's ringing, I like to move that little finger up a half step. And you're done. Okay? So from so you have rewind it back, learn the song. Most of the song is the opening riff, so you only have a few sections really to add to it each time. You practice it the way I mentioned at the beginning, you'll have the song down in probably just a week if you do it and work on it, you know. I always work on a song in the morning and from the night before, so I can see how much I remembered while I slept. And your brain will actually work on things while you're sleeping, so I find I can remember it in the morning. And then I add a section, and then I play that at night. The next morning I add all the pieces together. When I get that done, I get to go ahead and play it, I add another section. And then later on that evening I play it all again. And then ad infinitum. Merry Christmas, guys. Hope you enjoy the video. Hope you learn the song. Bye-bye.